Hello everyone, this is Nick from Universally Idiotic. This is probably the weirdest time of night to be doing a vlog, but considering I haven't exactly been keeping track on most of these, I figured now was as good a time as any. So, yeah. Basically, this is a rundown of all the series I plan to do and why I'm falling behind on quite a few of them. Mainly college. Because, between college and a job, it's hard to run a YouTube channel, but I chose to do this anyways because I'm dumb, but whatever. So, alright, anyways. So, what's coming up this week is the first part of Bioshock Infinite Lost at Sea, or not Lost at Sea, Burial at Sea. So, there's not really much more to say on that. As for Pit People, I recorded a couple of those episodes back in July, which means I still have the old intro with Morbidly Deceased here. I'm not going to fix, I might fix that, but I really don't see that much point in doing it. And then that's Monday. For Wednesday, what I plan on doing is something. Dark Souls is not going to be coming out every week. So what I'm going to do is, since I really liked the highly edited thing I did for Prey, which I'll probably put right here if I remember to actually put the annotation, or at least it's going to be here at the end of the video. I really like doing that story so far thing, a sarcastic explanation of the whole plot. What I'm going to be doing is something like that for Skyrim. I'll go by a day basis for like this traveler's journal thing and go from there. So it'll be a weekly thing, and each week it'll be a new day in Skyrim, literally a day for in-game time. So it's only going to be a couple minutes, but it gives me more practice with editing, gives me more practice with writing, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And if you don't, it's only 3 minutes, so whatever. It's basically my way of buffering out Dark Souls episodes because I can never get much done with that game. Is basically what I'm saying. And then the other thing I have coming out on Wednesdays is Dishonored. So I think I might have screwed up the posting schedule last week, but my goal is Bioshock Infinite and Pit People on Mondays, Dishonored and Dark Souls / Skyrim, depending on Wednesdays, and then Dishonored is going to be fairly straightforward. That's going to last pretty much for 2 to 3 months because I'll do one episode a week. Maybe I'll do a quick little recap of all the documents I've read, things like that. But considering how I'm posting it and how I'm editing it, I might not bother. I'm also trying to keep videos around 20 minutes just because that seems to be the sweet spot for most people. So we'll go from there. As for Fridays, Prey is going to be done in hopefully 1 or 2 episodes. The problem is I haven't recorded anything for it because that's a 3-hour ordeal to get 20 minutes worth of footage. So I don't really have time for that right now. I'm working on it, but I don't have time for it right now. If that makes sense, that should. And then there's one last series I know I'm forgetting. Oxygen Not Included. I meant to do something for that today. At this point, yesterday. It's past midnight here. I don't know what time it is where you are. Potentially, if you're one of the people who watches from Britain, I don't know what time it is. I'm sorry. I look at maps a lot. I don't look at time schedules. But for me, it is currently 12:29. This is going up in probably about 15 minutes from now. Maybe a little bit of editing, but anyways. I meant to get Oxygen Included not done. I fucked that up. Sorry. I just got back from work. That's the uniform. I work at Starbucks, so I'm currently like wearing all black because that's the uniform. I threw the jacket on because I don't control the AC. Me and my roommate. My roommate's not here. He's gone for the weekend. We don't control the AC. The other room does. So it's kind of cold in here. It was worse before, but still. For Oxygen Not Included, I bought a software, Movavi Screen Capture. I think that's how you pronounce it. The problem is it may not be as good as it said it was. I paid $70 for something that only seems to run at like 30 FPS and about 420 resolution. 480, sorry. Long night. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out for later. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do that. I can increase the frame rate, but I'm going to need to add things on to increase the resolution. That way it doesn't stutter half the time and you can actually read what's on the screen. Something about this new computer with how the game handles versus on the old computer, everything's zoomed out a lot more, either higher resolution or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. So, sorry I've been kind of bouncing all over the place. It's the middle of the night, but that's pretty much the plan for everything. Mondays are supposed to be Pit People and Bioshock Infinite. I'm waiting for an update with Pit People. What I'm planning on doing is recording and then taking the highlights for a couple episodes. And if I can't find anything else, then that's going to be a series I put on the back burner and maybe find something else to replace it. Then you have Bioshock Infinite, which is going to become Bioshock right after this whole Burial at Sea episode. There's 2 episodes, but the second one is it's a spoiler for Bioshock. So I'm going to play through Bioshock before I play the second episode, and that should tie everything together, tie a nice little bow on the series. I've heard with Bioshock 2, it's not that good, especially in terms of writing. So what's the point? Because I really try and play games for the story, not for the gameplay, because I personally find it interesting. But I need to ultimately figure out why I'm even, not why I'm even, but what I want to record for the channel. Simply put, am I doing this for the story of the games, or for the play of the games, or for jokes about the games? Those aren't necessarily mutually exclusive, but they usually are. So, then, once again, for Wednesdays, that's going to be Dishonored, which is going to be 1 level a week, which means that should only last maybe 2.5 months. With a brief little recap, I really like doing the not overly sarcastic, I really like doing the sarcastic story so far, or the sarcastic explanations, descriptions. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word right now. Reviews, the sarcastic reviews of games that kind of explain plot. Just the sarcastic synopsis. Actually, that's kind of fun. I should call it that. Sarcastic synopsis, Skyrim edition, this edition, that. But so I'm going to be doing one of those for every series probably from now on, because I really enjoyed the story so far I did for Prey. Not many people watched it. I can understand. Not many people watch Prey. Actually, more people watch Prey than half my other series, but still. But I really enjoyed doing that, just from personally my perspective, what I found fulfilling. That was really fun. Then next up is Dark Souls, which only happens like once in a blue moon at this point. So mainly that Skyrim thing I mentioned before. And then for Fridays, it's going to be Prey until that series is over. Then probably Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. I'm going to watch reviews, though, because I don't know how good that's going to be. It could be interesting, and it's funny considering the current political climate, but I don't know how good that's going to be. And finally, you have Auction Not Included, which I just need to mess with the recording software I use. Auction Not Included does not have a Mac version, which means my usual screen recorder does not apply here. But the thing about my screen recorder on Mac is it doesn't record audio, so I had to use GarageBand, and then you'll hear it like at the beginning and ends of videos, especially for Dishonored, you'll hear like a noise from the game, and also because that's my code. That's how I sync it up. I hit a button and snap at the same time. It syncs everything up. I'll explain this more later. And one last thing about the 5-year anniversary special. I've not had any time to record that. It's not that I didn't want to. It's that I just haven't had much time in general, especially because what I want to do is go back and say, here's how we evolved as a channel, here's what we've done, here's what the good memories we've had, and maybe here's where we're going. But I don't really know where we're going. Anyways, I probably rambled on way too long right now, and I really have no clue how my audio is, so I'm sorry if you have to turn this video up. I'm not putting anything at the end, so the time card stuff should be displaying right now that way, but still. Thank you again, everyone. I'm going to be surprised if anyone sees this when the first hour it comes out, just because of how late I'm posting this. But yes, so this is like a 10-minute ramble about everything that's going on with the channel, because I just got back from work, and I'm like, I need to talk about this before I forget to talk about this. Anyways. Like, comment, subscribe, or do whatever the hell you want. And I'm gonna go get some sleep. Peace, sort of. Bye, guys.